welcome to another episode of the RAW Barbell Club podcast. If you're new to our channel, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, guys, I'm so glad to have you back. If you have any comments or questions about this episode, please leave them below and make sure you click that subscribe button just down here and click that notification tab so you get updates on when our next episode is out.
Baby in the box.
Corner? Have you seen that movie?
Dirty Dancing?
Yeah.
No, I'm not that old, Beck. Andy's nearly that old. He's going to be that old this weekend.
33.
I know Master's Beck. I mean, we probably should have gone through this before, but do you know what you want to talk about, Beck?
No.
Don't look at me.
Hey guys, and welcome to the RAW Barbell Club podcast. I'm your host, coach, and all-around good guy, Andy. Today I'm joined with two of my friends, Rebecca Hannon, also known as Beck.
Hey.
Beck, you need to have the microphone a fist away from your face.
You don't give me instructions, Andy.
Yeah, I understand that would be hard if I didn't help you and tell you. And with my friend Steve Norman, who's been on the podcast multiple times now.
Cool.
Trying to make a run for most
views.
Most guests.
Guests.
Most guest appearances.
Yeah.
I'll pull this down for you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Make your life easier. Alright, so the relationship between us is Beck is exercise physiologist. She owns a gym just down the road over there. She also trains here. Has a cool t-shirt on.
I do, I'm ripping.
Unlike Steve.
Steve no got given one.
And Steve has been working with Beck as well.
Doing placement stuff.
Placement,
with Beck,
yeah.
Doing placement. So we all run in a very similar circle, but we all do very different things, which is kind of cool. So that's what I want to talk about. But
Okay.
first I want to talk about your good morning.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's fair. You want me to talk about what's wrong with it?
Yeah,
First,
just,
or
just
what
tell
the
me
issue
what
is?
happened.
I don't know. Like my good morning has like not gone anywhere for like years, and even under light load, like as soon as I hip hinge, like all I feel is lumbar, like, and not like working, like as in just really struggling to hold weight. So like if I do a good morning with 60 kilos, if I try and go to full range, I will fold in half. Like I just can't control it. And it's weird because like all my other hammy glute dominant movements have like gone up over the years. Like I can do Nordics and stuff now. I can deadlift 200 plus, but I still can't do a good morning at 60 kilos.
At all?
I could. If you asked me to do a set of 5, I wouldn't get through it.
Wow. And Beck, you had some ideas on like why this might be the case, right?
Yeah, potentially like a lumbar over
Pull it a
recruitment.
bit closer.
So maybe there's a muscle imbalance, so it's mechanical. Definitely mechanical.
And what you were saying is it's not so much that you're not engaging your glutes, hammies, abs, back, whatever it is. It's actually like an issue in the sequence.
Sequencing, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because I've played around with like different, I guess, cues with myself to like try and core support, but like I've tried like different pelvic lifts and that sort of thing while I good morning, different cues for like turning on rectus and that sort of thing, but I just can't get it to hold solid. Like I have tried playing with like a good morning with an arch, good morning with a flat back. I've even tried good morning with a round back to see if I could like...
Well, see, I was going to say, have you tried a good morning with a rounded back? Because if you have a rounded back, then your glutes are going to be on stretch. They're more likely to be...
yeah, I've had to play with it. It's actually more comfortable, but like...
This would look funky.
Yeah, and I'm worried to load it as well. You know what I mean? Like I'm scared to load in a round back.
I mean, as long as you're not going from flexion to extension, there's no...
there should be no problem.
Yeah, there's no like shear and force. It's just like still hinging at the hips, right? So there shouldn't be an issue.
Well, there shouldn't be that much difference between, like, as long as it's supported and there's no change in angle, right? There shouldn't be that much difference between good morning there and then good morning with the neutral spine. Like it should be, as far as shear force goes, the same because there's no movement, right?
And you think that he should just do some specific glute work, right?
Yeah, there must be a misfiring. Like if there's no hamstring recruitment and it's straight away lumbar. It's a sequencing thing straight off.
And then, so like the problem with a lot of the glute work though, like if he just does like hip thrusts or glute bridges, he can
Clams.
probably get away with the same firing pattern that he has, but clams would probably be a good bet for you, right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Because you're really quad dominant as well.
Yeah, always have been. We spoke about that last time, I think. Yeah.
Doesn't it run in the family though?
Yeah, I actually, yeah, 100%. Yeah. My sister's quad dominant, like good squat, shitty deadlift. Mum was the same, good squat, shitty deadlift. Like,
Good bench.
good bench, yeah. Yeah. Noah, nah, my bench isn't that great. That's maybe the women.
Which is odd, because normally that's not the case,
Yeah,
right?
no.
Yeah, because at Supertotal, your sister, like, what did she squat?
Oh, it was like 120, 115, 120.
Yeah, 117, I think.
No,
Yeah.
it was big because I was like, whoa.
Deadlifted like
Yeah.
Less.
105 or 110
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and her bench was like solid too.
Yeah.
It was like,
she had a good bench.
what was it, like 68 or something?
Mm.
Almost beat your mum.
Mm.
Has Beck ever told you that she cannot squat to death?
Did you get no reps at Supertotal?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
I pushed it out.
Did you get any
was-
reps?
Yeah. I didn't go lower, then I couldn't go back down. I was like, oh my god, I'm committed to coming up too early. Fail.
Oh, it was so funny. Because
But-
it's so high as well.
Was it? But is your depth, like, do you struggle to get to depth?
No, I was just like, there was so many cues with powerlifting. I was like, oh my god, don't rack it early. And then I just came up too early.
Bloody powerlifting.
Oh, it was fun. Did you like that meme I sent you today?
Zero skill sport.
There's this, there's like a list of like strength sports, and it's like bodybuilding, breathtaking, weightlifting, I don't know,
Amazing.
amazing.
CrossFit, inspirational, powerlifting.
Nothing.
Just like,
Stephen's inspirational.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like to think Stephen's pretty inspirational.
Yes.
How was your day at work today?
Oh, it's pretty busy.
You're always busy.
Yeah,
though.
the diabetes was going off. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys
Good
worked
fun.
together
Yeah, he
today.
was
Yeah,
there
what
today.
did you do today?
We did post-testing, so they just finished up an 8-week program.
Tell me about what is involved in a diabetes 8-week program.
So they do a pre-test, so a 6-minute walk test, sit to stand, bicep curl, and sit and reach, and then like blood pressure and stuff like that. Then we train them for 8 weeks, and then we do a post-test. And it's
and you
generally
test the same
always
thing.
better, yeah. So you test the same parameters.
And this population, are they generally like sedentary? Like they've never done this sort of stuff before?
Yeah, most of them are like very sedentary, like they've never walked into a gym in their life. So it's pretty cool work what we do. So I don't know, like one lady came in, could hardly walk, and today she was pretty much running a 6-minute walk test.
Yeah.
So like it's
yeah.
it's phenomenal, like 8 weeks. So
When
it's
she
like
came in, she was like using
Yeah.
a cane for support just
Yeah.
to stand up.
it's
Oh,
like
really?
ridiculous, yeah.
And then today she did to like, what's the low box at yours?
40 centimeter.
So to a 40 centimeter box, she did like 21 squats in 30 seconds to
Yeah.
a 40 centimeter box for someone who couldn't
Yeah.
stand up unsupported. 8 weeks, yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So it's like 16 sessions.
Mm.
Yeah.
She's like the most impressive.
Oh,
that
I've never
with
seen
you,
anything
though.
like it. Yeah.
As
You
in,
think
you've never
that-
seen an improvement that
Yeah.
fast?
Do you think a lot of that with her though would have been like a confidence thing as
Confidence, yeah, psychological, maybe like a little bit of like barrier from like seeing medical professionals. But she's just like next level now. That's pretty cool. Hopefully she'll ditch her walking stick.
Oh, so she
Oh, she carries it, I think it's like a safety thing.
Yeah,
She doesn't use it, she swings around the air when she walks, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Into like
I knocked it off.
Checking his bicep or something.
Yeah. Classic Steve.
Nah, I knocked the mic off when I was scratching.
Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about the different populations that you deal with.
Yeah, so we deal with like the really poor conditions. So people that probably reside in their house all day, they're too scared to leave. They don't like to stand up too much. Through to people that could probably go and do CrossFit. So it just really depends on like what their health goals are. So
And you were telling me that the Hawkesbury, which is where we are,
Yeah.
has a huge population of people that don't leave their house.
Yeah, so I'm really slowly learning it the more I work in the Hawkesbury. So we do have a really big epidemic of diabetes, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So that's things like emphysema, lung cancer. We have a lot of heart failure as well. So there is a lot of visits to homes like that, the nursing that we'll do like at Hawkesbury Hospital, but we just don't see it. So these people never leave their house. It's quite sad.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so, but yeah, the more that I work in the Hawkesbury, the more you start to see that side of health.
Yeah,
But we're
I
all
had no
like,
idea.
yeah, I had no idea either until I kind of went into this field, so.
And
Yeah.
you're working more and more with these guys that have this, I'm going to screw it up, cardiopulmonary
Yeah, COPD.
COPD.
Yeah.
Like, how did that start?
Cardiopulmonary,
Yeah,
sorry.
close.
C-O.
COPD. So I never actually had an interest in it. My grandma died from emphysema when I was like 15. So I was like really scarred from seeing someone go from not being able to breathe on their own. So she carried an oxygen tank with her 24/7. And we just seen her deteriorate over 2 years to the point where you'd see her and she'd be blue. So she wouldn't be able to have
she
a
had
conversation.
no-
Yeah, so this is like no oxygen. So this is probably like, mid 90s. So I guess like medication back then was really bad as well. And it fell into my life like in March. Had like a random email from the PHN asking would I be interested in taking
what's
over.
that?
So that's the Primary Health Network. So they pretty much look after the Nepean region.
Yeah.
And they were asking would I be interested in contracting for Lungs in Action, and I was like, oh, I don't even know what this is. So I did a bit of research and I was like, oh yeah, this could be interesting, like working in the Hawkesbury, different type of clientele, mixes my week up a bit more. And yeah, so I took it on.
She doesn't have enough.
I don't have enough already. So yeah, I took it on, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So I went over to the hospital, and they run like a CALM program there. So it's like an 8-week, very similar to what we do with the diabetics, but it's 8 weeks. It teaches these people that live with COPD how to improve like activities of daily living. So they do like similar things to what we do at a lesser scale with exercise, but they also do education on how to breathe and manage like anxiety, panic attacks, what to do if they have like shortness of breath. And then from there, then they graduate them back into the community. So generally they're supposed to transition to Lungs in Action.
Yeah.
So I run this exercise class once a week, every Tuesday at Hawkesbury Hospital. So it's a community-based program, so it's free for them. And it's so that they can kind of improve their capacity to live with the disease, because there's obviously no cure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like really opened my eyes up, and now like my phone would probably ring at least 10 times a week with people from all over the Hawkesbury and Penrith region, trying to find out how they can help their loved ones because they've got emphysema or lung cancer or something. So it's quite sad.
That's super
Yeah,
sad.
yeah.
Because it is a disease that affects a lot of people, and it is something that, one, there's like no coming back from a
No.
lot of the time. Not a lot of the time, all the time.
Yeah.
It's just about improving quality of life and
Yeah.
making them as comfortable as possible with the rest of it, right?
Yeah, so I just took on this new patient. So I go to his house. So he's like 70, and he's got emphysema, and he's had like a major heart attack in the last 2 years. So he's like that scared. He doesn't leave his house at all. So it's like super sad. But he smoked from when he was 12 to 60. So like the damage is done, and yeah, it's like, most people would be really scared to train this bloke because he's just so unstable.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
fragile piece
Yeah.
of glass. You just drop him in.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like, after 3 sessions, he can already accumulate 9 minutes of walking and riding. So it's like a big jump for him in 3 sessions.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So hopefully in a month he'll be able to walk his hallway a bit easier. Mm.
What are some other interesting cases that you've been working on recently?
Ooh. Oh, I do interesting CRPS, so chronic regional compartment syndrome. It's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get quite a few referred on work cover. So it's kind of like PTSD from an injury, but it affects like the neurological system. So it's like it still thinks the body's in pain even though it's not.
So it's different to like actual compartment syndrome?
A little bit, yeah. It's like more sensitivity based. So like
Could you almost relate it to like shadow pains? Like someone
yeah,
who's
like phantom limb kind
like
of thing.
phantom limb stuff?
Yeah.
Like when someone loses an arm and they start
Yeah,
feeling pain.
yeah. It's kind of like that, yeah. So I've had some really interesting cases in the last 12 months with that.
Wow.
And none of them are similar, so you kind of like, you're on the back foot every time they come in because you're not too sure what you're getting that day. So that's like probably one of the most interesting things that
What do you do
I'll
with
come
someone
across.
that comes in like that?
You got to just be patient. Like you can go 10 steps forward and 10 steps back. Yeah, but I've been working with a bloke for about 8 months now, and he's made like huge progress. But like Steve's seen, we're trying to now get his shoes back on his foot, and he's like, what, 5 minutes, and he's like freaking out. He's got to get this shoe off because it's like it's pain, but it's really not much different pressure wise to the sandals he wears.
Yeah.
So like it's quite frustrating because like for us it's we think it's common sense.
In your head as
yeah.
well,
But what they feel is
you just don't know what they feel. So
if they feel it, or if it's like a fear avoidance thing as well. Like he's a funny one. Like he'll tell us that, for example, like he's only just gotten over the pain of having like his bed sheet rest on his foot, but then the sandals that he wears are like done up properly tight, like kind of thing. Which like you can tell from yourself. Like I get uncomfortable wearing sandals that are done up, like that rubbing pain.
Oh, it's like wearing thongs and getting the bruise between your toe, right?
Exactly. Like, not the best feeling. Yes, I wear sandals all the time.
Yeah,
That's where
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, with socks.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Didn't you say slides are coming back? I'm going to bring sandals back.
if anyone is at an age where they should be wearing
It's
sandals,
definitely
it's
no way.
Beck wears her sandals on her way to golf.
Do you?
I play golf with my sandals.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
was golf? Wait, did you have golf today?
Oh, went in chipped. It's too windy.
She complains about like having too much work on, but plays 8 hours of golf a week.
No, more than that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just impressed that she finds time to do it.
Yeah,
That's good.
Got to make time.
That's good.
Hey, Steve. When's the last time you played?
Yeah, it's true.
Donating to Linwood. You're fixing their greens.
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
That's because I'm too busy donating all my time to Beck's gym.
How many, would you call Steve an placement? How many placement students do you guys have at a time?
Ooh, it depends.
there
Yeah,
today.
there's 3 today.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes
Who's
we
the
can have
best?
like 7. Steve's the only one that's picked up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You realise this is a public forum?
Yeah. This is a public forum. We'll leave
That's
that
all
alone. Oh, God.
God, it's so windy.
It is
outside.
so windy.
It picked up really quick too. Like
Yeah.
I was sitting outside waiting to have lunch, waiting for you for lunch, and then within like 5 minutes there was chairs flying everywhere. I was like, I'm going inside. This
Were you
sucks.
waiting for a long time though?
Yeah, ages.
So much time, hey.
Yeah. He's
We were
so
meant
late
to-
for everything.
We were meant to meet at 12.
Who was?
Me and him.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, what, 2 o'clock now? 2:30?
No, it's later than that.
It's
3:30.
You guys have watches.
Yeah, where's yours?
I don't
That's
have
why
a
you're
watch.
late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. How long have you been playing golf for?
Oh, since March.
Since March. Oh, so you're like
I'm
pretty,
fresh.
pretty new to it. And you're already better than Steve.
Yep. What's your handicap?
She doesn't know.
You told me 32 today.
7.
Bullshit.
What's your coach's handicap?
Oh, he's off scratch.
I don't know what that means.
Like 0.
He plays off
He
0.
plays off 0.
Oh,
He
that
doesn't
means
play
he's
with
very
Like,
good,
no
right?
error. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Wow.
Beck plays off 46.
Such a liar.
I know very little about golf.
He has no idea. He would just nod. Who do you go for in NRL, Eddie?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Melbourne Eels or something.
Oh, God.
Why, who do you go for?
Roosters, but you'd have no idea who they are.
Yeah, the Newcastle Roosters.
They lost last night.
They did.
Good game, though.
I didn't watch it.
Wait, are you still going to the footy tonight?
No.
Who do you go for?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it does matter.
It doesn't matter.
Parramatta.
No, I go for Titans. Yeah.
Oh,
Disappointing.
Yeah. What did they come?
And
Last?
Nah, 15th. Bulldogs last.
Oh. Are you
I
sure?
think.
I don't think that's right.
I hope so. I stopped watching their games. I was like, this is
I'm pretty
getting
sure they're coming
embarrassing.
last.
Are they?
Yeah.
Coming last?
I'm pretty sure they are.
If they win this week, might we survive?
I don't think so.
Oh,
That's
well.
unfortunate.
It's better to win something than nothing.
Yeah.
Spoons, something.
What's really funny is we spent half the podcast, was it last week? No, like 2 weeks ago, talking about rugby and field sports and stuff. And it's something that I really don't follow.
Yeah, but you understand we were talking about like anatomical stuff. So like,
Yeah,
as long as you understand the movement that's happening, which really is running and contact, those are pretty much the only two things you need to know about the sport.
That's true. We talked about ACL injuries and stuff for a long time.
Yeah, because I spoke to you about it just before I went.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
talked about it.
Yeah.
with me.
Like change of direction stuff and ACL injuries.
That's what he does. He talks to you for like 2 hours.
And then comes and talks to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just seem smart because I just let her tell me everything, and then I come and repeat it to you, and you're like, oh.
Good questions.
Good podcast.
Yeah.
So really, I've just been talking to you for the last.
Really, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking through Stephen to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Aw.
How have you been finding? That's because that's not the field that you want to work in, right?
It's
So
interesting.
The field he should work in.
Yeah, probably. But it depends
What does
where.
that
I
mean?
think it depends where you spend all your time. So, like, he spends a lot of his time in the athlete environment. So it's probably
The
where
athlete
yeah.
environment.
The environment of people that think they're athletes.
Yeah. So probably,
Yeah.
like, that's where all your focus would be, like, reading up how to get better and
Yeah,
you know
for sure.
what to like focus on and how to get like that extra performance.
Yeah, I have a general idea with like a very, very crude understanding with a lot of stuff or most of the stuff that walks through the door at Bex, but then like stuff will come through where she'll tell me what a client is suffering from and like I've never even heard of it. Like,
Oh, some of the stuff she's
It's
told
like-
me, I'm like,
yeah. Or even if I have heard of it, like don't understand even symptoms, like let alone mechanisms and that sort of thing. But it's been good. Like I've found it good because it's a bit of a learning experience as well. Like I like having that general knowledge sort of stuff about physiology. So learning a little bit more about different diseases and that sort of thing is interesting at school. But yeah, you're probably right in saying it's not the field that I want to move into long term.
but that's why I think it's cool that you've done it.
Yeah. Oh, I enjoy it. Like, it's interesting. Like, I enjoy learning about it. But yeah, as far as like starting my own business, it's not going to be the field that I think I'll move into. Not straight away, anyway.
He's gonna wait until he's 33.
Yeah, you might change when you turn 30.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not old enough to work in that yet. But I think you have to wait till your own athletic career is down the line.
Yeah, probably. Once you change over into like the masters. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm doing. I'm just training for masters. I know I'll never be a good, like, senior athlete.
But you could be a world beater in masters.
Maybe. There's some pretty ridiculous masters out there. Though.
Is there?
Yeah. There are masters that are like snatching 130, 140 and clean jerking 160, 170. A lot of them don't compete in masters though, because they're like senior level lifters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think many masters that are like, or many people moving into masters see it as like a step down when they like to take that step back and be like, okay, I'm going to compete as a master now and move out of seniors?
I think so. I think like a bunch of people like, who said that? I think Bailey said that, like Dan Bailey. He said like he'll never compete in masters.
Do you reckon that's like an ego thing too,
Yeah,
though?
100%.
Yeah.
Thing, yeah.
Alpha male thing.
Yeah.
100.
Whereas, like, someone like, Neil Maddox, I think, does compete in masters, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but then you have like Sam Briggs has gone between the both,
she has.
right? She's gone and
Sam
then come
Briggs-
back.
Yeah, she went masters though because she.
Didn't make.
No, she's not. She
No,
well,
she had an injury,
She
didn't
got
she?
injured,
Yeah.
and then she was like, "Oh well, I can win masters injured." Is basically what she did.
And I mean, for some of them, I guess if you are competitive still in the senior level, like.
Yeah. Oh,
Why
for sure. Especially if you thrive off that competitive spirit of the sport. Like, if it's significantly higher level for you, like for a lot of them, like if you look at Like I don't know if he's at that age yet, but in CrossFit, like if Froning went to Masters by the time he's old enough to be a master, like he's just going to walk over the top of everyone.
How old is Froning?
I have no idea.
He's late 30s now,
Oh, okay.
or mid 30s at least. What's Masters age for CrossFit now?
I think it's 35.
35 is
Yeah.
the first bracket.
But HQ is
Jeez, you're not
30,
far off,
right?
Beck.
Maybe we should go back to CrossFit.
Yeah.
If anything that people take away from today is that Beck is
Old.
over 30.
Wise.
Yeah.
What do you reckon is like a good retirement age for, like, if you haven't
what
made
sport?
it in CrossFit?
Ooh.
Like for saving your body, or for like if you haven't made it by now, you're not going to get there.
Both.
Saving your body, you need to be out by the time you're early 30s. Yeah, and then
You're talking about competitive CrossFit.
competitive CrossFit, yeah, you need to be out by the time you're early 30s because your body can only handle so much volume. But that's assuming that you've also been doing it for like, if I say 32, that's assuming that person's been doing it since they were 22.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they've been doing 10 years of it. Whereas like if they started when they were 32, then maybe they need to get out by the time they're 37, 38. You know what I mean? But I think you're probably past your competitive stage. Like if you haven't gotten there by the time you're 28, 29, you're probably not going to get there. You know what I mean?
Really
But again, that's assuming you've got a couple of training years under your belt. Like I'm not going to say someone that starts when they're 26 needs to be there by the time they're 27, because they might have till they're 30 before they actually reach that like training age with CrossFit. Like because it is very different, right? Like it's different to most things people do as well. And it's a big experience thing. with
Probably
CrossFit.
depends on their background as well.
Yeah.
For
Like
sure.
athletic background. How quickly they pick up movements.
Yeah, and CrossFit's
It's a learning curve.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
CrossFit's a funny one as well because people that are smart, like CrossFit smart, do really well even if they're not fit. You know what I
Are
mean?
you CrossFit smart?
Yes. Because I'm not fit. Like people that understand how to pace a workout before even starting it, kind of thing. Those are the guys that do really well. Whereas people.
So,
that
right, do you stick to your pacing? Or do you like have brain
no.
farts?
Oh, I have brain farts, but I'm more like I have a game plan and then adjust as I'm going. Generally.
Have you gotten better at like that? You know when you
Bludging? Yeah.
no, not that. Like, you know when
Shortcuts?
you're in, like,
Yeah,
a,
lots
you're in a
better.
workout and you like used to sometimes give up because you're not on your pace.
Yeah, I've gotten better at that. Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh,
He just gives up.
I didn't open like 2 years ago where I like pulled the pin halfway through 3 of my repeats because I wasn't where I wanted to be. Like the first one, I was. So there's that 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 dumbbell snatch. and
Oh, in the box,
burpee
box
box
jump.
overs.
Oh, that was the worst workout ever.
So I was ahead by maybe like 20 seconds on my first time after the 30s, but I was like a lot deeper in the hurt locker than I was the first time I did it. Like, and I just didn't feel like I was going to be able to maintain it. That one probably was smart to pull the pin. Like I wasn't going to get there. Like I was going to die in the ass. But then there was another one at the end of that year where like I just failed a couple of reps, but was still ahead of my time. And then just sort of like went, fuck this, I'm not going to get it. Kind of thing. And then looking back at my video, I was like, should have just taken 10 seconds, had a couple of breaths.
And then kept going.
Probably would have got it. But that was just a temper thing, like frustration. Whereas I think I've got a bit of a cooler head now. Like if stuff starts to go wrong, I can deal with it a bit better. Whereas then I was like, this is shit, I'm done.
So you've mellowed with age.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
So maybe that's part of the learning curve as well, right?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, well, you see people that like, we won't name names, but we have people like even when you were working at the gym, like that would throw tantrums at the end of a workout because they didn't do how they thought they were going to go, or whatever. It's like just chill out, like, relax for a second.
I think because there's so much pressure in CrossFit though, like you have an expectation before you even go into that workout.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
for
sure.
well, that's the same with any elite sport.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you I mean, it's
frustrating.
any sport.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think because it's like so time focused, like that one error, it can be so critical. Whereas
Oh,
some
yeah.
other sports, like you can
Yeah.
make an error and then recorrect it and keep going.
Yeah.
With
Well,
CrossFit, it's like that's it.
Most
Yeah.
field sports
Right.
are like that, right?
Yeah.
That
You know.
especially team sports, you can make a little mistake and it's okay.
Yeah.
But all of those individual sports, like sprinting's a big one, right?
Yeah.
you make
Like a
tiniest
false start,
mistake-
right?
Yeah. And you're like, right. Well, what do you reckon is the age? So like a sport like weightlifting is probably very similar to like a jumping sport, a throwing sport, or a, like a sprinting sport, in the sense that the age demographic is quite similar? do you disagree?
I disagree. I think weightlifting's older. I think weightlifting at retirement age is older, only because I think with a lot of field-based sports, there's a lot more. I'm going to say like loading at full range of motion that weightlifting maybe doesn't quite get to. So like weightlifting hits like loading at triple extension, for example, whereas like sprinting is at not only triple extension points, but then also like a lengthened hamstring and stuff. And especially with age, I think hamstring injuries is the big thing, right? Especially in field sport.
Well, what is it? After you're 23 is when you're considered like a 60% greater
at risk. Yeah.
At risk for hamstring tear.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not even there yet.
I'm way past it.
You're just a hamstring injury waiting to happen.
My hamstrings are pretty good, actually.
They are. You're
They
pretty
are.
strong.
Stronger than Steve's, probably.
Yeah. Well,
Wouldn't
you
doubt it.
Definitely do more than 40
what's
kilo. Good
your-
morning.
What's your deadlift to body weight ratio?
Oh, just over double.
What's yours?
Just over double.
Oh.
Oh,
210%,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because I reckon that'd be pretty close. Like Beck can pull like 140.
145, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is pretty impressive.
For my age, yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine's actually going down because like my deadlift is not getting any stronger, but I'm getting a lot heavier.
What was our theory this morning? Put a weight vest on to get to 100 kilos and
Oh,
then
yeah,
train
'cause-
with it?
Yeah, because I said to Beck, I'm still putting weight on, and I was like, I'm kind of half tempted just to see if I can crack the 100 now. Like, put another 6 kilos on and get there.
And I said, just put a weight vest on, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, nah. I'd be a big 100, I think.
Yeah. Well,
I really feel like you should do that. Put a weight vest on and do a gymnastics session.
Did you know Steve when he was Fat Steve?
Yeah. When you came back from America, we used to pick on you.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh.
Oh. I'm pretty sure I remember you telling me that I'm fat, but I'm not normally like this. I just come back from America.
Did I? Oh,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure you did.
No, I was like that before I left for America. I was definitely like that.
I'm pretty
before
sure
I
you
left.
blame it on America.
Yeah, no, I was definitely like that before I left.
And I was like, does that guy really do CrossFit seriously?
Yeah.
Is that guy elite? Why is he taking the class?
How's he
Hey,
the
at 100
coach?
kilos, I could still muscle up.
That's it. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there was an athlete once that they were a little bit heavier on the heavier side, and they were like, "Oh, you do gymnastics so easy, blah blah blah," and I was like, "Yeah, I train it all the time, so it's something that I'm good at." And he's like, "Oh, I'd like to see you do it with a bit of extra weight on you."
So you
I
did?
did it.
Yeah. I don't really. I believe that being better at gymnastics is harder, heavier, right? Like that's just.
It is definitely hard.
It's definitely harder being heavier, but there is also a point where it's relative, right? Like you should have more muscle to help lift your weight if you're heavier. Otherwise, you're just fat, and you can't
That's
really
hard.
you can't really blame it on anyone else.
I mean, it's crazy. I've been watching a lot of. Do you know who Martin's Lee Cheeses, the strongman?
No.
So he's the guy that just won like World's Strongest Man this year, and he's probably around 150 kilos, and he can do pull-ups. He can kind of do muscle-ups sometimes, depending on like. But it's 150 kilos.
Yeah, right. That's like impressive. I was like reading
I
in
can't
the
do a strip pull-up
paper.
with that much weight.
I was reading like a month ago. It was an article on like Australia's strongman, and it was like saying he was scared to sleep because he was like at one point like so big that he used to wake up breathless. So he used to sleep in a chair upright.
Yeah.
And now he's like in UFC or something.
Oh, what's that guy's name?
Yeah, it was like so. I was
I
like
know the
so
name you're
intrigued
talking
by the
about.
article. I kept reading it, going, "Wow, this guy's gone from one extreme to the other."
A lot of those strongman guys need CPAPs to sleep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it's a must. They can't. Like they
It's
have
like-
huge breathing problems.
You think when you get to that, I mean, I'm not, like, I consider myself a pretty competitive person, right? And like, how can you let yourself get to like that stage
I
of
don't know.
ridiculous bad health and ridiculous pain all the time, and still continue to compete? Like, there's guys like, I don't know whether it was it Eddie Hall who, or was it might have been Brian Shaw who, for one of the world record deadlifts, like, was walked out and assisted to get hands on the bar because he can't bend down unassisted because his back's so bad, and then pulled nearly 500 kilos off the floor.
Well, the world record is 500 kilos. And that
Mm.
was Eddie Hall. But
That's
it was. I
crazy.
think it was more like he walked to the bar and he got down, but he was probably wearing a deadlift suit.
Mm.
So it's hard to actually bend to the bar.
No, but I've listened to interviews with guys that like have to be assisted to the bar and then lift afterwards.
Yeah, see, that's ridiculous.
I think it's
Like,
ridiculous.
how can you get yourself to that point? Like, you're gonna retire in what, 2 years' time after that, and then potentially probably be wheelchair bound for the rest of your life.
I mean, for me, the big thing with any competitive sport is like you want to be in it for the long run as well. Like, I want to be really good at whatever I do, but longevity is my biggest thing. Like, I want to be able to snatch when I'm old. I want to be able to clean and jerk when I'm old. Like, I don't want to have to be like, oh, you know, I once was able to do this, and now I just have to like watch you guys do it. That'd suck.
That would suck.
How are we doing for time?
Heaps.
Ah, cool,
Yeah.
awesome. What's the age like range for golf? That's got to be pretty good, right? They also have back injuries all the time, though, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I've played with some blokes that are like in their 70s.
No,
But like
competitive.
competitive,
There's guys in their
there's
60s.
like, yeah, it's
That's
like
still
some
top
of
of
the.
the range.
the
Yeah.
Oh, so
I
it
don't
does
know.
have a huge ceiling.
They're game changers, I
How
think.
old's like Phil Nicholson? He's like,
He'd be late 50s.
like, yeah, he's like really good still. Like, he's probably one of the fittest blokes on tour, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Their game just changes. Like, they
Yeah.
stop hitting bombs off their drive.
They
and
just
start
they play
playing.
really strategic. Like they'll
Longer
club up or
irons.
club down, and
Yeah.
you know, they'll lay up instead of like going for the shot. Like, they're just real smart.
Well, I guess that's very similar to like
It'd be
combat,
yeah.
like jiu-jitsu and stuff, right?
Mm.
Like you have like people that are pretty old doing jiu-jitsu and the game just changes completely.
I really liked the podcast you did the other day, by the way, that
Oh,
you
really?
released. Yeah,
Oh,
with your.
cool.
I haven't listened to it. Sorry.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Because it's a sport I'm interested in, like
You should
BJJ.
come train with me.
Oh, that would be so funny. You should.
Sorry?
It'd be funny.
Why?
I just think it would be funny.
Why?
Because Andy will probably kick your ass.
You'd be surprised at how bad I am.
If it's anything to do with catching a ball, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that she knows how bad
Yeah,
I am
I know.
at catching
You should have
balls.
seen us trying to teach him to throw a ball in my backyard one day.
Yeah, because
I've never met anyone who can't throw or catch a ball.
He's has a baseball background, and his dad obviously like. You have such a your relationship with your dad is like so TV. It's
What do you mean?
What do you
just,
mean?
like, his dad used to play catch with him with a baseball. Like, what are you like from the American suburbs? Anyway, his dad and him tried to teach me how to throw and catch baseballs, and
How did it go?
yeah, not well.
That's why. What did you tell me you were going to do today? You told me today that you were going to go do something, some sort of sport. I swear it was a ball sport, and I was like,
Was it
Are
golf?
you?
Because I'm trying to convince
"Oh,
him.
that's right. Yeah, it was. Yeah, to swing a golf club, and I was like,
I reckon it'd be really
Andy,
funny.
I've seen you try and
Yeah,
hit
it'll
with a
be
cricket
so
bat."
Yeah.
It's very weird because like it's not like my balance and stuff is bad.
No,
Like,
it's
It's like
not.
your coordination, but
odd.
then like you can weightlift, which is like a lot of coordination, right?
and that's the other thing. Like I can definitely I can balance on things. I can,
Yeah.
I'm
But are a lot of
decent at
those things
gymnastics.
like
Fixed?
no, but are they like like we're talking about throwing and catching a ball, right? So that's very hand-eye.
Yeah.
Whereas like is the rest of it maybe more like you have maybe good kinesthetic awareness kind of thing,
Yeah,
like
maybe.
where your body is in space is really good, as opposed to able to track something coming at you is more the issue.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Do you reckon it's just my eyesight?
I was
bad?
just
I was
gonna
just
say
going to say that.
Shit. Yeah.
It could be.
I like we all went to the same point there.
I was looking straight at your glasses.
Yes.
You know what's really funny? Not funny. This is actually back to the actual topic we were talking about.
Yeah.
Things like powerlifting and strongman have a much higher age range because like guys don't reach that level of strength until after a long period of time.
It's a maturation thing, I think, isn't it? Like
Yeah, maybe.
training
Because
age.
you find the same thing in like bodybuilding, right? A lot of them seem to be a lot older doing like bodybuilding.
Well, I guess you have to train for a long time to just
Yeah.
get to that level.
I don't know.
Isn't it like isn't cardiorespiratory like, so you know how they talk about having a peak age for strength, it's like 36 or something, is it?
For men,
For men?
I think for women,
I think it's like less for women, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's lower for women.
Yeah.
But then they talk about like your peak age for like cardiovascular fitness is like late 40s, isn't it?
Oh yeah, so I've read something like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting that like sports like powerlifting and strongman seem to be so much further down the line, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so much older than maybe other sports like CrossFit, for example. I guess CrossFit's a hard example because hasn't been around for long enough, but
I think CrossFit's always a hard example to talk about because it's not
So many modalities
It's
in
not
it,
a sport.
right?
Yeah.
It's not a sport. It's an art.
yeah, it's a lifestyle.
Well, it's like
It's hard to pick because there's so many, like you're right, like there's too many modalities involved. Right? Like it's not just aerobic, anaerobic, it's or strength or power or skill, flexibility, like there's too many
There's
things.
so many things.
Yeah. It's probably that massive mixture of things that is the reason for all the injuries.
Yeah.
no, I think it's just like how fast it is. Like there's no.
And people don't
time
move
to
with
learn.
control either.
Control, that's it.
Yeah.
Like
Do you find like for like either of your gyms, like do you guys have do you have an injury rate really that's overly high? Like how often would someone in the gym get injured doing a
all of
class?
people that come to a gym are injured.
No. She's got like functional classes that she does with uninjured people.
Yeah.
Like
They just come injured pre.
Yeah, no, actually, no, it's true there. So they will come like with an injury, and then we just find a way to like improve it and manage it, and then keep them training. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but as far as like
you don't have many injuries that
injuries
happen
from
at
like
the gym.
no, not really.
yeah.
No.
What about you, weightlifting gym?
Yeah, not really.
No, I think it like it really comes down to the programming. Like mine's fairly balanced. Like Andy's, yours is like pretty balanced as well. Whereas I think because CrossFit, the programming's there, but people like chop and change their schedule, so they could go repetitive classes where it's all overhead,
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
they get an overhead use injury. But
Yeah.
Isn't that what you?
no,
comment.
no, I just used to go on a Tuesday. It was always overhead, and I was like, oh, I'm doing overhead. No, but I had my injuries weren't from CrossFit.
Yeah.
They had CrossFit injuries, but then it wasn't from CrossFit.
Beck
from-
played a lot of club level sport as well.
Yeah, no, I got a slap the toe from touch footy of all sports.
Club level sport.
Yeah, it wasn't club level.
How is your shoulder now?
I reckon it's like 95%.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's better than his hamstrings.
definitely.
No, my hamstrings are at 100%. They're just shit.
No, it is. It's heaps better than what it was.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
But
Will you go back to like, I guess like kipping movements and stuff?
I could go back, but then I like weigh up. Is it worth?
Risk the benefit.
Yeah,
ratio.
like I don't know.
But you were doing. Steve said that you were doing some review classes a while back, or like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I did a few like I just
Did you
missed
do
the
anything with
competitive. Actually, no, I didn't. I skipped out on that. I just did like something different. But then I jumped up at the end and did like, I did like 6 kipping pull-ups, and I was like, oh, I can still do it. But I don't know. It's just one of those things. Having shoulder pain is crap.
Yeah. Oh, for
So,
sure.
and with my work, it's hard. Like if I hurt my shoulder, it's like really restricting.
Yeah.
So,
Because I like. You know what I have lost? I can't do bar muscle ups anymore. My ring muscle ups are really still like quite good, but I cannot bar muscle ups to save my life.
I think bar muscle ups, like believe it or not, are more of a timing thing than rings. I actually think there's more timing involved getting yourself around like a fixed object than it is around the rings. I think you can get away with being slightly shitty timing on the rings because you can go through them.
and they move a lot more too, right?
And whereas the bar, like if you're timing with your hips, like if your like summation isn't good, then you're gonna miss the movement.
That's a big word.
Summation.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
I'm
do
very impressed, Steve.
That's my word of the
So
day.
smart.
I think last time I was on here, I can't remember what it was, but I remember finishing and being like, I don't even know if that was the right context to use that
He's
word.
probably looking up the dictionary before he comes here to pick one word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use that one.
Yeah. I've got to work out how to put this one in.
Finishes talking to you, gets in his
Yeah.
car, checks the dictionary.
Yeah. This is my word for the day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about how you talk.
You're not doing the next Supertotal, right?
When is it?
Oh, it's already full, so.
No, I'm
unless
not.
you've registered,
No.
No. One was enough.
you're done. retired.
One and done.
You did so well there.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
So can we get you to join us on a Sunday for a 6-hour total?
A 6-hour total, what?
I'll let
yeah.
Andy explain it.
Yeah, so
What?
we're gonna film a video of us just doing like one lift every minute on the minute, like a squat, a bench, and a deadlift. And we're just gonna go for 6 hours
In alternating minutes.
and just see who can get the highest total tonnage.
For 6 hours?
6
100,
hours.
120 lifts of each movement.
So it's not that much
That's not that. Why over 6 hours?
because it's every minute.
Every minute
Okay.
on the minute, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm.
This workout, and the cool thing is you can choose the weight that you do. But
This could be a good Kokoda fundraiser.
yes, it could be.
Yeah,
This would be perfect Kokoda
Yes.
training as well.
yeah, it would. Beck's gonna do though like 1 RM step up, 1 RM
Yeah.
squat with a sandbag.
You still haven't tried to pick up any of the sandbags, right?
Oh, no, not yet.
They're
Yeah,
heavy.
have to do it.
He definitely.
I have
went
been
too
walking
heavy.
with my weight vest.
Yeah, no,
That
you're
bag's
you
going to
should
be
do-
hell heavy.
Oh yeah,
Ugh.
a weight vest is very different
Yeah.
to how a backpack
Mm.
feels. Or like
A
backpack
good
feels.
hiking pack though is like. very
Yeah, I'm
different
pretty.
to
It's like a
backpack.
70-litre ruck thing.
Like when you got like
Cool.
proper straps that strap up across your chest, like 3 or 4 of them. They.
And you get walking sticks as well. It's going to help.
You're gonna look so cool.
Hiking boots.
Gloves.
Get calluses, yeah. Wear gloves. In my paleo bars. No?
No.
Aren't Cliff Bars better for that stuff anyway? For
Don't say
hiking?
that.
No.
No.
I'll be packing so much food. I'm not eating tin spam.
I actually tried to get Mike on ages ago to do a podcast. He
You
seems
should do
really
one.
shy.
I think he'll do one with you. I asked him the other day.
Oh really? Cool.
He said no. I told him that you and me were doing a podcast together, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, Andy asked me ages ago," and I said I would do it, and he goes, "And I would like to do it. Like, I like Andy," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, cool,
Oh,
you should
okay.
do it."
He's a likable guy.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, you should do it," and he was
Because I
like,
asked
"Yeah."
him
yeah.
like a year ago, and then nothing came of it.
I think for a guy that like seems really laid back, he's really busy all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Busier than back?
He's really busy.
He
Beck's
obviously
not
doesn't
busy
play
at all.
golf.
No, he comes in, trains with us, and then goes to work.
Well, that will work with his schedule now because it's close to us.
Yeah, it's so close to his offices. Yeah, for sure. Wow, that wind is
This
really
is so loud.
Yeah. I think you can hear it more as well through the headphones, but it is really loud. Guys, if you hear that at home, it's not because there's someone trying to break into the gym. It's
And we're all
tornado
just
outside.
we're all just cowering up here, not doing anything about someone breaking in.
What time are we at?
46. It's about 5 minutes to 4,
Oh, awesome.
so I gotta leave
Cool.
about 5 minutes.
Oh, cool. We'll start wrapping up. Steve, where can people find you?
Steve Norman 250 Instagram. That's really about it at the moment. Oh, and one Andy's new podcast.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. And Rebecca.
I don't even know my Instagram name. How bad is that?
Beck.
Beck
EP.
underscore EP.
There you go. That's me.
Oh, hey.
Oh wait. Yeah.
God, do you really not know?
No,
your
I
Instagram
don't. How
handle?
bad? I'm so.
last guy didn't
I'm,
know it
Yeah,
either.
I'm so bad on social media. If it wasn't for my staff member, I wouldn't have social media.
Wait, they look after your personal social media?
No, yeah, she sends me the videos and I just forward them. So bad. Who
And
has
your-
time for that?
Well,
Yeah,
make
Andy,
time.
you have so much time for the social media.
You make time, Beck.
Yeah.
Part of the work.
Yeah.
While you're off playing golf, I'm here playing social media.
That's true. He's doing something to grow the business.
Oh yeah, I am too.
Golf.
Networking.
Yeah. Networking at golf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
networking.
Probably.
It's a good spot to network.
It is
too.
so good to network there.
Yeah. Sure.
God, do I have to start playing golf now?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Just if anything, just for my amusement.
And mine as well.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, if you,
We should do a golf day.
We
if you
should.
tee up this thing with your
Yeah, I
guy,
will.
Beers and golf.
As long as he's willing to reciprocate that.
Oh,
he's gotta try
100%.
and learn
Yeah, he will.
weightlifting.
Yeah, because I'm happy to laugh at him for that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your business, Fun Fast Fitness.
And Greater West Exercise Physiology.
Oh, so you remember that.
I know that one.
And what kind of populations
do you work with that can look you up and want to work with you?
Yes, chronic disease, diabetes, musculoskeletal, pretty much everything really, other than athletes. They can say Steve. No, I do some athletes work, so it just depends what they've got.
Yeah.
But yeah, mainly chronic disease.
Cool. And Steve, let's talk about our new podcast, because we have a new podcast, guys, and it's a bit different to what we do here. Well, it's actually probably more similar to what we did today, but
Yeah,
what
that's
we
true.
do
What we
normally.
do normally. Yeah, what you do normally. So it's Uneducated Opinions on Instagram, and is it on Facebook? Is it Uneducated Opinions Podcast?
Yeah, I couldn't get the same. And then on Twitter, it's like uned opinions.
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't get the same thing. But if you look up Uneducated Opinions, there's this really cool logo that someone made for it. It's really cool.
Oh, was it you, Steve?
No, it was Eddie.
But the new podcast is basically everything that this podcast is, minus the good information.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just the whole idea of it is just two guys having a beer talking shit. That's really
That's it.
that's the background for it. That's it. The whole
Just
premise.
come there for the banter.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, you can find RAW Barbell Club at RAW Barbell Club on all of our social medias. So that's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, check out our stories, see how the gym is training, how Beck is out deadlifting Steve.
Or good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you could do a good morning with Steve on your back?
Probably. How much do you weigh?
94.
96, wasn't it? No.
94.
Do you think you could do a good morning with Beck on your
No.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could. 100%.
And guys, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube so you can see cool episodes like this and meet fun guests and all of that stuff. Lastly, if you love this episode, please share it. And if you really want to help us out, you can now donate to the podcast. So making this podcast is a lot of fun, but it does take up a lot of time, a lot of money, and we need to obviously invest in some sort of tornado-proof building. So just go to www.rawbarbellclub.com/donate and you can donate whatever amount you see fit. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
If you like that episode, I really think you might like this one. And if you want to search for more episodes, guys, click this little circle thing right here. If you want to stay notified, make sure to click that subscribe button below and click that notification tab.